And joining me on the broadcast right now is Sushant Sareen. Sushant, good afternoon. Thanks very much for speaking with us here at WION. Prime Minister Modi not, beating around the bush. No bones about region-based terror either. The onus once again on Pakistan and, of course, countries that continue to support it while it refuses to take action on terror emanating from its own soil.
Yeah, I think, the message which the Prime Minister delivered was very clear. I think he maintained the decorum of SCO by not naming Pakistan, but I think it was very clear, the country he was referring to. But I think it is equally important that when he talks about all those countries which sponsor terrorism or support terrorism in one form or another, then some of the other countries would also come into this whole thing, including countries like Russia, which to the extent that they are backing or seen to be supporting the Taliban against the lawfully constituted government in Afghanistan, I think that also comes into the picture. It would also then, in a sense, point fingers at Iran and other countries, which also seem to be supporting non-state actors in the region. But clearly the focus of the Prime Minister was on Pakistan, and by coming out as forcefully as he has done, I think the message which goes around to everybody is that, look, when you try and come to us and try and tell us that, we need to open some kind of negotiations with the Pakistanis, have some dialogue with them, then there are certain preconditions, prerequisites which the Pakistanis need to fulfill before we can expect any kind of a dialogue with them. So I think that is the kind of messaging which he has done, which is pretty much in the fitness of things.
Fair enough. Stay with me, Sushant. My colleague Siddhant Sibal, WION's principal diplomatic correspondent, also with us from Bishkek itself. An interesting choice of words from the Prime Minister, Siddhant. The reference to the St. Anthony's church attack in Sri Lanka also going to show that the Prime Minister is not talking about just India's fight against Pakistan-based terror, but generally speaking, how the region is suffering on account of terrorism and attacks on civilians and security forces alike.
Well, the Indian Prime Minister has set the priority for not just few years, but for the entire tenure of his administration. Clearly, terror remains the top focus for the Indian Prime Minister, whether it's in Maldives, whether it's in Sri Lanka, or whether it's here in Bishkek, where he just spoke a short while ago, talking about not only about his visit to St. Anthony's Church, the church in which the attack took place, in which more than 90 people died. In that very church, overall 250 people, more than 250 people died. But clearly, focus was on terror. And of course, without naming Pakistan, the Indian Prime Minister said that countries who aid, abet and support terrorism, they should be taken to task. They, of course, are already facing isolation. Pakistan is under tremendous squeeze, whether it's internally or externally. We know that the Pakistani Prime Minister just had some kind of meeting with the Chinese President. We are waiting for the readout. But yesterday, when the Indian Prime Minister met with the Chinese President, the first bilateral here at the SCO, focus was clearly on terror. He clearly told his Chinese counterpart how terrorism is a big issue. And when it comes to Pakistan, talks with Pakistan, talks can't happen unless Pakistan takes strong and verifiable action on the issue of terrorism. He, of course, has proposed an international conference on terrorism so that this surge can be, in a sense, not only controlled, should be eliminated. Shortly, we know that the Afghan president will be speaking. He, of course, will be also speaking on the issue of terrorism. And since Afghanistan and India both are, in a sense, the neighbors of Pakistan, they both have publicly voiced their concerns regarding terrorism emanating from Pakistan.
All right, Siddhant, thanks very much for bringing us that perspective from Bishkek itself.